Okay. Hi guys, we are live now on YouTube. I'm just gonna get the link to send to our guest today. Okay. Yeah, you're the only person here. Hi sis, we just went live now, not up to 1 minute. Hi Obanla, thank you so much sis. Thanks for joining. Thank you. I'm just going to get the link to send to our invite today. Just bear with us. Hi. Are you live already? Okay, all right. Okay, all right. We'll just wait some minutes to just welcome people on. Sorry, that's one of our invites today.
I wonder if anyone can hear me. Hello? Um, hello? Hello? Can anyone hear me? Hi, Tammy, can you hear me? But if you can, I can't hear anything. Please let me know if you can hear me. Anyone can hear me. Oh wow, I can't hear anything. I can hear you. Okay, well, I can't hear you and I can't hear any other person. So I'm wondering, I guess is it this one? Okay, let me see if I need to adjust something on my headset. Just a moment. Um, okay, one moment. I'm just trying to connect my headset. Perhaps that's where the issue is coming from. Okay. Okay, I see. Okay. I can't even hear you, Temi.
Hi, Nancy.
Okay, hi, Temi. I can hear you right now.
Okay, awesome,
Yeah.
good. Okay, I think that was my fault. I didn't add myself to the screen. All right, good to have you here, Nancy. Thank you
Oh,
so much for
no
honoring
problem.
my invite. Thank you for
So
inspiring
good to be
us
here
here.
too.
Thank you for inspiring the women here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. We love you and we appreciate you. God bless you.
My pleasure.
All right. So I don't want to take too much of our time
Amen.
because
It's
your
my
session is
honor.
supposed to be
Pleasure.
30 minutes and for the other person, but we've taken like 19 minutes already. So I'll just leave you to introduce yourself and go right into today's topic. Thank you so much, Nancy.
Okay, hi everyone, and it's actually my pleasure to be here. My name is Nancy Eke, and I am the host of Go Getter Women. It's a YouTube channel on YouTube. Apparently, I do have I would call it an online class for Ace Your IELTS Masterclass. I reside with my family here in Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada, and I'm not sure what else there is to say, but I'm just a woman of many parts. I'm a businesswoman, I'm a professional, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm also a wife and mother of 3 boys. Yeah, I love the Lord, and I mean, if we had to streamline it to why we are here today, I did when Temi reached out to me to say, okay, let's do something on strategies to pass the IELTS exam. And I did think it was a good one, and that's because, like I always tell people, I do have an online masterclass for IELTS. And for I do tell my students in the class, as we go on into the video, into the session, I will be sharing how you can connect with me on that platform if you really want to know so much more about having to pass your IELTS. Not just pass now, but get the grade you need to be able to actually, get provincial nomination if that's what you are gunning for, or even to get into, the express entry proper. Um, okay, so like I always tell people who, um, my students and those who would care to hear me when it comes to having to pass your IELTS. Now, I always tell them, and I say this, that's the only thing you can influence. Now, in terms of your age, what is on your passport, you cannot change it. Yeah. What is also, your work experience, you cannot inflate it because it has to be backed up by a reference letter, if you get what I mean. And then also your qualifications, your educational qualifications, you already do know, or rather, I'm sure that you already know that it will be evaluated by one of the educational bodies here in Canada, and so that you cannot change, because whatever is on your certificate as well as your transcript is what you will be judged by. So in terms of your age, which you cannot change what is on your passport already, your educational qualification, because that's already on your document, which will be evaluated by WES or one of the other educational bodies. Your work experience is already certain. You can't change that as well. But IELTS is the only thing where that you can influence your scores in, because all the other ones, your age, your education, and your work experience are already they're standardized already. They're structured. You can't change it. But IELTS is one place and the only place you can actually influence your scores. And in that regard, it becomes very important for you now as the student who desires a better score, whether you're writing it for the very first time or it's a repeat test for you, and you want to just do better. It becomes very important for you to actually know how to pass. Now, but before we go into all the, just a bit of, there are quite some strategies that I may not be able to share here because of time. What I can say is, let me just give an overview first of what the exam is about. Now, the IELTS exam is actually broken into two types. You have the academic IELTS, and then you have the general IELTS. Now, for the purpose of immigration, if that's what you are pursuing, you have to write or take the general IELTS test. Now, in that general IELTS test, you have four test modules, which is reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Now, if you are a new test taker, which I would assume that everyone is, because I would not want to jump for the benefit of those who might be hearing this for the first time. I just want to know a little more about what the test is about and how they can do better. Now, I would assume that everyone listening to me has no idea about what the test is. So I will just take it back to the basics. Now, like I mentioned, the test is in 4 parts. That's both the general and the academic. But for the purpose of this section, we are focusing on what the general, because that's what you need if you want to migrate. You want to immigrate to Canada to work and study, or even just to work. And so, in the general IELTS, like I mentioned, 4 parts: the listening, the speaking, the reading, and the writing. Now, the 4 parts in totality is a total of 2 hours and 45 minutes. Now, but for the first test you will take, it's usually what we call the speaking test, and for that, you usually take that a few days before the other 3. So if your general test is on Saturday, you'd realize that, or you'll be sent an email saying your speaking test will be on a Thursday or Wednesday or even a Friday before the Saturday main test. And that is for the speaking test. Yeah. And so for the speaking, it's about 11 to 15 minutes in all. Yeah, for that speaking. But you know that for someone who is highly desirous to do well, sometimes they're very anxious, and then sometimes that anxiety gets the better of you. But what the instructors, what we call the IELTS instructors, what they do is to try to get an icebreaker to break the ice so that you are a little relaxed. Because if you are in that tense mode, you might not just do your best. If you are like me, who when I'm tense, I tend to talk a little faster. Yeah, then it might not just be good for you, because beyond just what you are saying, they're actually listening to everything you are saying, not just the phrases or the sentences you are making. They're looking for words that can connect. They're looking for your conversational style. They're looking for cohesion, how you are able to, join the parts together in terms of forming a structure and language as well. And so between the speaking test, like I mentioned, it's between 11 and 15 minutes. You will have 4 parts to that speaking test within that short 11 and 15 minutes. Now, the tip for you, or the strongest or most important tip for you, 2 things. Number 1, be relaxed. And then number 2, be natural. Now, they know you're not a native speaker. They know that. I mean, if you were a native speaker, you would not even be in the part of town where you are. You will be in Canada, or
Yeah.
you'll probably be in America, or wherever it is that English is the native language. And so they're not going to judge you by those standards, yeah. But if you have if you speak at school as a native speaker, then it's a plus for you. However, you are not judged by that high standard. So what you need to do is just be natural. Just be natural, be yourself. When you later start to ask you questions, okay, tell me about yourself. Now, remember that I mentioned that the speaking test is usually 4 parts, but those parts come back to back. So sometimes you might not realize that you're already in the fourth part already, because it comes in such a sequential manner that you would not even know that you're already in the fourth part. But what you need to do is just relax. So when they ask you a question, just flow. Just be yourself. Just flow. Just be natural, talk, and try to be engaging, be conversational, and don't use too many big words if you are not sure of them. That's a lot of mistake people make. They try to want to impress, put their best foot forward, and sometimes they go overboard. Yeah, but in this case, just be yourself. Try to ensure that you have a sequence when you're talking, and in that way, when you are done with the first part, the invigilator is going to ask you questions leading into the second part. But before you even start the first part, I remembered something. You will have a piece of paper and a pencil to write down your thoughts. Now, why they do that is so that you're able to connect what you're about to say. So they give you that opportunity to connect your thoughts together. So when they say, for instance, tell me about yourself, now they're not necessarily asking where you live, what you do, and all. What they're looking for is sequence, conversation, how engaging you are, how natural you are. Those are the things that they're actually looking out for. So, but if you're uptight and tense, it's just you and them. They can see it in you. So just be natural. Don't try to impress. Don't try to sound like a native speaker. If you don't have an accent, please don't put one up, because you will reduce your marks for you. Like I mentioned, they know you're not a native speaker, and they're not expecting that you speak as one. Now, if you've lived in the West before now and you have that accent, they can tell, because it will come natural to you. But the downside to if you don't have an accent, a natural accent, and you are trying to just impress, and then you begin to cook up bogus words, just no, you don't do that. In that way, they see they're trained to test you, and they'll deduct marks from you. Now, also know that, it would interest you to know that during the test, the test is being recorded. So they're recording what you are saying, so that beyond just that invigilator sitting opposite you, somebody else can actually, review that in case you need to call up your marks. If you need to question what you have, when your scores come out, or when your test results come out, and you think you're not satisfied, why they actually record that is so that somebody else can actually, more like a third party point kind of review, so that in case if you think that the invigilator didn't do well, then maybe somebody else can review and then give you the scores that that you deserve as a result of that. That's one. So just be natural, be yourself. Don't cook up, don't try to work up an accent. You don't need it. They know that you are not a native speaker. So just be yourself. Relax, smile, be engaging. When they ask you questions in the first part, the invigilator is quiet. He wants to hear you. He's searching for stuff. He's listening to you, or she is listening to you. Just flow. And then that ends really briefly. Then you go to the second part. And what the second part is about is what you have said in the first part. Now, I think I need to mention this. When they say, for instance, tell me about yourself or what you do, now they're not really asking you what you do. They can't just understand your engaging style, like how you communicate, how you flow. So now you can actually divert from tell me about yourself. When you talk about yourself, maybe where you live, what you do, your hobbies, you can just in one of those directions. You can start talking when you talk about what you do, where you live, what you maybe what you like, your likes, your dislikes, your hobbies. Now it's okay for you to actually divert to something else. Like I mentioned, what they're looking for is for engaging style. How
Engagement.
engaging are you? How conversation? Because it's going to help you when you come to Canada. Canadians like chit chat, they like banter. So if your hobby is not engaging, then it becomes a minus for you. Yeah. And then when you're done with the speaking for that day, remember that I said it's about 11 to 15 minutes in all. But you have to be natural in order to ace that. You have to be natural. Speak the way you want. Don't cook up big words. Just be natural. Okay, so quickly moving to now, like I mentioned, that will be a day or two before the major test day. Now, once that is out of the way, which is the speaking test, on the Saturday, which is maybe 2 or 3 days after your speaking test, usually on a Saturday, yeah. Then you have the 3 other test modules together. That's the listening, the speaking, and the writing test. And so now the first test module you would encounter or you would have to take on the Saturday after your speaking test is actually the listening test. That is for 30 minutes. The listening test is 30 minutes. So you have to do your best. And please note that you will be given a headset that is infrared, not Bluetooth now, but infrared headset. And so when you put on that headset, you are supposed to listen carefully to what is being played. Yeah. And it will not be played more than once. So the idea for you is as you are listening to the conversations that are being played. Now, the listening test also, I must say, that is in 4 parts, and that is for 30 minutes as well. Yeah. But for the listening test, you're supposed to listen carefully. That's not the time to be distracted and think about what you need to do after you give the test room. No, put your focus there, because that conversation that is playing, or the set of conversation that is playing in, as you're supposed to tick your answer as you are listening. It will not be played again. So if you missed it, that's it. If you miss the phrase, that's it. So as the conversations are playing, you'd hear, okay, so this is part 1 in the listening test. Listen carefully to all the conversations, and you are required to fill in the responses or the answer to the questions as you listen to them. So what you need to do is just take your piece of paper, you have writing materials that you need.
Sorry, guys. Looks as if the network is frozen on Nancy's side. We hope this comes. I hope she's able to come up right immediately. So let's just give her some time. And I hope you guys are enjoying this section. Please kindly share it with your family back home, because I know they're the one that needs this most. Like I said earlier, this is a requested video. Someone actually requested this after my video on possible ways to relocate to Canada. And let's just wait while she's reconnecting back.
Okay, right.
She's back. Thank you, Nancy.
Apologies for that. I had to change network providers.
Okay.
So like I was mentioning, like I was saying earlier before, the network interruption, for the listening test, you have 4 parts, and you're supposed to fill the answers to those conversations you are hearing, acting in the answer sheet. For instance, if the conversation that is playing talks about a certain address, so there's usually a monologue, there's a dialogue, and then there are 2 other parts to it. For time, I will not go into all that. But the idea is, for instance, during the monologue part, if there's someone who is reciting an address, and add somebody else's address, in the dialogue rather. If someone is telling someone else, you would see the question there, and you see the gap, for instance, for, let's say, the house number. It's going to be mentioned in that conversation. You're supposed to write it down there. Don't wait to listen to everything because you won't have the time. Remember that I mentioned there are 4 parts and you just have 30 minutes. Yeah. And so when you are done with the listening, you go to the writing. So you have speaking a few days before, then you have listening first on the main test day, and then you have writing, and then you have reading. You have reading first, and then you have writing. Writing is usually the last. So after your listening, you have reading. If I remember correctly, yes, after your listening, you have reading. Now for the reading, you have 3 comprehensions, each one more technical than the other. So the first starts as a very easy, comprehension, 2 or 3 paragraphs, where you're supposed to just look at what you need to do. You just look at it. Now the trick is this. And it lasts for 1 hour. I must mention that. So the reading part of the test usually lasts for 1 hour, and you are timed in all these test modules. Yes, you are always timed by them. Yeah. So for the reading, you have 3 comprehensions. Each one is more complex than the other. Now listen to me carefully. The idea is not to read the paragraph and understand what they are saying. That is not the idea. That's where a lot of people miss it. Because even in that 1 hour, you will not have enough time. Remember that I mentioned that each one is more complex than the other one. So if you waste time trying to understand and ingest what the comprehension is saying, to say, okay, I think they're talking about this and that, the effects of coronavirus in the pandemic, you've missed it already. Now, what you need to do in order to meet up with speed, because like I mentioned, the first is easier, the second is more technical, and then the third is, yeah? What you need to do, when you see the questions, don't bother reading it. Trust me on that one. Now, I'm going to tell you a bit of my story when I'm done, so that you understand and you're able to connect the dots. Yeah, when you read, don't you read the comprehension. Just go to the question straight. Don't waste your time. Go to the question straight. look at question one, comprehension one, look at the questions, then you come back. Now remember that for the questions, it's usually you have options. You have A to E. Yeah, the idea is for you to shade what is required, what you think is the best answer for it. So when you go to the questions, look at it, then go back to the answer and look for the best fit. Now, question one of comprehension one is the answer to question one of comprehension one is usually in the first paragraph. I can give you that for free. Now, so don't waste your time trying to read and ingest and understand and trying to make sense of what they are saying in the comprehension. You don't need that. That's not what they want. They just want you to answer the questions that you are saying. And in order to be able to answer that, so you walk from the questions to the comprehension. So you go to comprehension one, question one, you look at the question, what they're asking, then you go to paragraph one of comprehension one, check for the answers, quickly scan it because you won't have time. When you see the best answer, you just shade it, you move to the second one, and that's how you are able to complete that part of your reading. Yeah. And then you do the same for like I mentioned, you have 3 comprehensions, each one more technical than the other. So the best thing is not to waste time on comprehension one because that's the easiest one. So you quickly do that, go to comprehension 2, which is more technical. You do that, and then comprehension 3 is usually the one that is a bit, very bogus. But if you save time on 1 and 2, 3 is easy peasy. Even if you're not sure of what it is, you have a lot more time to think through your answers, check the best fit and all of that. But trust me, you have to move with speed because the way that the test is structured, you don't have enough time. You don't have enough time. So you need to find ways and devise strategies in order for you to be able to do your best and ensure that you answer the questions not just as fast as you can, but also correctly. And then if you are not sure what an answer is, if you leave it blank, it's not a problem. There's no marks. There's no if you leave it blank or you have the wrong answer, there's no impact. The fact that it's blank or the fact that it's wrong, they won't score you on that one. So if you're not sure, you can jump it. It's fine. If you want to shade something that you're not sure, up to you. If you want to take your chances in that sense, that's it. So let's quickly move to the writing. Now, this is usually where a lot of people have issues, because in the writing is also 1 hour. Now you have 2 questions on the writing, both essays. One of them is simpler than the other one. The first writing question is usually someone is visiting you and you want to just introduce them to your usual routine, weekly routine, write them a letter saying this, that. So it's more like an informal letter. Most of the time, it's usually something really informal. So what you do is write, just flow. But before you do, and one of the strategies that works every time is this. Try to get connecting sentence. Hi, Miss Smith. I do understand your son is coming to town. We'll be glad to have him. Our doors are open, our arms are open. This is my weekly routine. In the mornings, I take my son to school, or just flow. Be nice. It's an informal letter. You're like, it's something informal. There's structure to it, but what they're trying to do is your writing style. So that is really easy. And for that one, you have 20 marks. So do your best to, in fact, what I usually suggest to people, leave writing test, writing essay 1. Just go to 2 first, because that's the more complex one. Do 2, because that's the one you have to think through. That's the one where you have to, try to structure, ensure that there's some sort of flow in what you are saying. Now for question 2, I'm going to come back to question 1, but just listen to me carefully. For question 2, you have more like what's your thoughts? So they give you a perspective, and they probably just give you a scenario that this is what happens here. Can you write for or against it? So what you are supposed to do is to put your thoughts either for or against. And in that way, what they're trying to look at, what they're trying to consider, what they're going to assess you by is how you're able to connect your points together. Now, first things first, I can't share too much because of time. First things first, ensure that your writing style is not as bogus. Don't use too many big words. If you can use it, fine. But if you can't, just stick to what is you. And then before that day, of course, you have to prepare, ensure that you've done quite some practice tests and all of that, so that it gives you a lot more confidence on that day. But like I mentioned, leave writing test 1, go to the second one. That is more technical, and that has 40 marks. Yes. So the entire scores for writing is 60 marks. Writing test 1 or writing essay 1 is 20 marks. The other one is 40 marks. So you will do well to actually attend the one that is 40 marks, so you can, minimize your scores before going to the easier one, so that in case you don't have time, at least you've nailed the one that is more complex. Do you understand? And so in that way, you are able to do your best. There are quite a lot of more strategies, but like I mentioned, for time's sake, I won't be able to touch on them all. But like I mentioned, just go to writing test 2, finish it. And then also, I think I need to say this. When you're writing for or against a particular motion, what you do is this. Look for conjunction words, words that, for instance, when you're going to, let me give, okay, so the effect of coronavirus, most people have argued, I'm trying to just create a hypothetical question. Most people have argued that coronavirus has been a disaster, while some have argued that it's a blessing in terms of homeschooling your children. As a mother, please write for or against the effects of coronavirus pandemic as it relates to homeschooling your children, something like that. Now, what you need to do is, first of all, don't start writing. Just take your time and put the points down, how you connect your dots. So don't just rush up and start writing to save time. It's whether you have a concise writing style. It's whether you put your points down. So you know how to take point 1, you blow it up, point 2, you blow it up, point 3, you blow it up. But whatever you do, ensure you don't write less than 4 paragraphs, please. Whatever you do in writing test 2 or writing essay 2, which is 40 marks, ensure you don't write less than 4 paragraphs. So when you put your points together, coronavirus, I'm able to homeschool my children, I'm able to spend more time with them, and then you try to blow that up. Yeah. What you do is when you write the first paragraph should tell them what you're writing for or against. So let them know your stand, where you stand from that first paragraph. Because remember that I said you are writing for, most times you usually write for or against something. So in that first paragraph of writing test 2 or writing module test 2, let them know where you stand. I'm writing against this, and these are my reasons. And then from the second paragraph, you start blowing up your reasons. Give them a paragraph on one reason, another paragraph on another reason. But as you are writing from paragraph to paragraph, please use words that join. Furthermore, firstly, secondly, in conclusion. In that way, there's a sequence. I hope I'm making sense. You first start by saying, this is what I'm writing for, or this is what I'm writing against, and these are my points. Paragraph 2, first, this. Second, this. Secondly, this. Thirdly, this. And then your last paragraph, in conclusion. But you have to have a sequence. And when you're done with that, and you're able to gather as much marks as possible, then you can go to writing test 1, which is easier. It's not like a letter, write a letter to somebody here telling them, maybe your son is not, will be ill or is ill and is going to miss his midterm test. Write a letter to the teacher saying that you're going to make up, some housework or homework for him so that he can meet up with his classmates. Something very simple, just write. But even in that, ensure that it's not more than 3 paragraphs, not less than 3 paragraphs. Don't write a whole full scan. Like I mentioned, you don't have all the time. But it's better that you focus on test 2, where you have 40 marks. If you can get 30 over 35 or 37 over 40 in test 2, and then you do in that, you write second writing as the text question, and then you come back to the first one and you get maybe 10 or 15 marks. You're going to get an A. But whatever you do in this, just ensure that you are calm and composed. You are calm, you are composed, you're already there. So it can't be worse than you already is at the time. So just take your time. Now with these tips, you know where to focus. And if, for instance, age is not on your side, and you think that, okay, you may want to maximize your Ielts, which I mean is what everybody wants to do. Please, I will tell you one thing. Focus on your listening more than anything. If you can get an 8 in your listening, it shoots your scores way higher than if you got an 8 in something else. Yeah. So if you get an 8 in your focus, if you get at least an 8 in your, even if you get 7 in your writing, your speaking, and your reading, once you get an 8, at least an 8 in your listening, it pushes you way up. But if you get maybe a 7 in listening and an 8 or a 9 in reading, the difference is not as much. So whatever you do, when you're taking your listening test, please put your, if possible, hold the headset to your ear, press it like this, and ensure that you are there, you are completely focused on the question, on the conversations that are playing, so you can get the answers online real time as those conversations are playing. And in that way, you're able to squeeze out, a lot more in terms of what you need to do to ensure that your test scores goes very high. There's still quite a lot of strategies, and I mentioned I was going to tell you my story. So when my husband and I had decided that we're going to, migrate or immigrate to Canada, we had done every other due diligence. What's it called? We had done the evaluation, we had done the work experience. He was working, he was an engineer. I was also heading my small team in my unit, so we got everything we needed to. And then the first time we wrote IELTS, he scored a 7 and I scored a 7 as well. But by the time we put the course together, it wasn't enough to get us, where we wanted. So I kind of relaxed, continued working. I had a really good job. So I just took my time to, well, let's do it sometime and all. And then shortly before, maybe about, also, I think I need to interject here and mention that your IELTS test is valid for just 2 years. It's not valid for longer than 2 years. So within that 2 year time frame, you can use it for whatever you want to. But after 2 years, you're required to write another one. Yeah. And so back to my story. So after about a year of writing the first IELTS where I got a 7, now I really didn't think about, I didn't practice. That's the truth, because I just thought it's not English. We write it now. What we speak it every day. We write it, all of that. So I just thought I could do it. So I put my best forward, my best foot forward. I really pride myself, to a good extent that when it comes to fluency in English and all of that, I'm quite good. But when I went for the test, and I had, I did the entire IELTS test, general test. I got a 7. I'm like, I should have done better than that, but that's just passed. Like I said, I focused on work. I focused more on my work and continued until a year into 1 year after I'd written that, and then I started having those feelers again that I think I need to write this thing. So I spoke with my husband, and he was a bit nonchalant. Oh, write if you want to, like you know how men can be. So I said, okay, I was going to write it again. Now this time I was more intentional because I had done my calculations, I done some calculations, and I knew that doing better in IELTS was all I needed because, like I mentioned in the very first, when I started this conversation, the only thing you can change is your IELTS. You can't change your work qualifications. You can't change your work experience. You can't change your educational qualifications already. You can't change your age as it is on your passport. The only thing you can influence to get greater scores is your IELTS. So when I began to make some mental assessments and I began to check, okay, where can I do better? So I went all out. I went for trainings. I took some personal assessments. I went because I knew what I wanted. And so by the time it was, when it was time to write the second time, in fact, I was more pregnant with my second son when I was writing when I wrote the IELTS test, the second. In fact, I was due, but I just went to write it. I gave birth 2 days later. So if you're a woman, you can imagine how big I was. I gave birth 2 days after writing that test. But like I mentioned, I had to take quite some toilet breaks because as a pregnant woman, almost due. Yeah. So I took some. It was not allowed, but I told them, hey, I'm going to pee here. Long story short, the results came out, but because I was more intentional, I had gone all out to discover the things I needed to do. When my test came out, I made an 8. In fact, I made a 9 in reading, despite my condition as well. And that pushed me way up, so that when Canada came calling, I was, more than prepared. So it's a beautiful place. If you're not in Canada yet, it's a beautiful place. There are so many opportunities here, so many, so many, and if it's something that you really long for, something that you want to do, and you want the family to come over here, then you need to take it more seriously than ever because it's everything you need to push yourself into where you want to be. Like I mentioned earlier, I have an online masterclass. It's hosted on Google Classroom right now. So if you want to be a part of it, because I've had over 40 students take the class, and I've had nothing less than a 7.5. Not me now, I mean my students. So there's something that really works. And in that class, it's self-paced. So you have the curriculum there where you have strategies. This is just a tip of what I have in there. I have test practice questions. I have everything that you need to be able to, make the most of your IELTS course if you want to.
Can you share the link? Or how can they contact you?
What I can say, I would just type. You just send me an email. Yes, I'll just type and then maybe tell you can just yeah. And so what was that? Yeah, so I have a full curriculum there that is developed. So all you need to do is once you make payment, it's just 15,000 naira. If you're not in Nigeria, just pretty easy money for where you want to be. And for those who I started in Nigeria, but because I was in Nigeria at the time, a lot of people were like, you are here, I'm here. So why are you sending IELTS to me? If you were working for you should have been in Canada now or somewhere out of Nigeria. So I waited a bit. Some people actually believed in what I was sharing and all, and they passed even while we were all in Nigeria. But when I moved over and then people began to see that, okay, this thing you were selling then is working. Most of them now came forward to, and I can tell you, I have a lot of, I wouldn't say praise reports, we're not in church, but I have like testimonials because people have been passing. And like I said, these are the things, and more that I have shared with you So if you want to do best, if you want to do a lot more, and your heart is in this, and you want to, like I said, there's so many opportunities. If you want to do a lot more, you want to do better in your Ielts, which is the only thing you can change about, your age, your work experience, and then your what else now? Your educational qualification. That's the only thing you can change. So if you want that, I'll just put it I'll just type it here now. You can just send me an email on is your IELTS masterclass. Just give me a moment. I'm trying to just type it. So tell me if you can see what I'm typing. You can just share with the class.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so that I just shared it now. It's your IELTS.masterclass@gmail.com. Or send me an email there. I would give you further instructions as to how to get enrolled in that class. And then there's no timing, there's no timeline to the class. So I just shared the link. I just shared the email with her. I'm sure she's going to share it, to the in the house. And then if you really want to reach me, you can just reach me, and then we can take up discussion from there. I wish you the very best, and I hope that you nail it this time with all these strategies I have shared. And then, like I mentioned, I do have also a lot of past questions, audios. That's in terms of listening. I have practice test questions, very many of them on that learning management system where I'm hosting that class. Yeah, if you want to be a part of it. And like I mentioned, there's a guarantee of not less than 7.5. Or you can have someone who has done 9 before, but that's because they were serious and they wanted it the way they wanted life. And in that way, they're in Canada right now, as I speak. So yeah, it is possible.
All right. Thank you so much, Nancy. Wow. Wow, that really blew my mind. And thank God I'm here already. If not, you want me to start reading so hard, and thank you for coming to this segment and sharing that for free, because I understand you pay. And thank you so much for honoring me. I'm just going to add a few things. I remember when you're talking about the writing, God, one of the tips I had in mind then was when I practice writing at home, you have to write the first one 150 and the second one 250 words. So one of the things I did then was to count my words on the paper when I practice at home. Then I was used to, okay, maybe on the first line, I'm used to maybe writing 8 words, on second line writing 9 words or 7 words. So what I did was I reduced it to the least one, which is maybe 7. And I'll just times 7 times the numbers of the sheets. So that was the trick I used, because there's no time to always count if you've written 150 words or 250 words. So when you write your first paragraph, just look for the one that has the least amount of words. So let's say in your first paragraph, you have like 4 lines, and the first one you add 9 words, second one you add 8, the other one you add 8, and the last one you add 6 lines. I'll just use the 6 because it's better to write above than to write below. Yes, I'll just use 6 times, maybe it's 24 lines times that. I know what the average, that was what I used to help me, because this test is all about timing. Most of the time, us can write and speak. It's about timing. The time is usually very, very, very against us. Thank you so much, Nancy. Like, you just brought back the memories of
I like what you said. It's actually in my masterclass, but just to corroborate what you said.
Oh, sorry, already.
I'm that generous. Let me just share one more thing.
Okay, I'm giving them expo. I'm giving them expo of what to expect from your masterclass.
Yeah, I mean, that's what life is about. Life is about giving.
Yes, you have to get the tricks right. So, it's all about tricks, because most of us Nigerian, like, our first languages, I can only say my first language is English, because we basically speak English everywhere, right? So thank you so much, Nancy. I really enjoyed this session, and thank you for your time. Thank you to your kids that allowed you, gave us this time. Thank you so much. I hope to have you another time on much more interesting topics. I hope
you know how we do it now. Tell me, don't you? You know how we do it.
Thank
you. It was my pleasure being on the show. So if you really want to just know some more, just send me an email.
Yes, please. Yes, you might have to send me the email, then I can share it here, because I didn't see you drop yet.
I dropped it in the chat already.
Okay, already. Can people see it? I can't see.
Let me see. I'm not sure why I'm not able to type comments here.
Okay, you know what? Just send it to me.
Chat. What did you
Send it to
say?
me, then I would share it
Okay,
as
great. I
well.
will do that. I will do that. I'll send it to you right now.
All
Thank you,
right. Thanks so
everyone.
much,
Yes, it was
darling.
my pleasure being here.
Enjoy the rest of your evening.
You too, Tammy. Thank you very much.
All
Thank
right.
you. Bye,
Bye.
everyone. Bye.
Hi guys, I hope you guys learned something. I've been seeing a lot of comments, very educative, very enlightening. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you so much, Nancy. We do really appreciate you. So this is going to take us to our next segment, and I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys are ready for this one because this one is a life experience, is a true life experience. And she's a sister to me. She's my friend from childhood, and we are sisters already. And I know what she went through when she was doing all these things, even before I came to Nigeria. Like, let me just call her in. Let me just bring her in. You guys should just come and listen to her first. Okay, I think we still have Nancy there. Let me see. Okay, she's gone. All right. So Fatima, if you are in, please kindly send a request so I can join you. Our next speaker is Fatima Oloko. You guys are going to be enjoying our section here. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy it. It's a life experience that every immigrant woman have to hear this because there's a lot of things we hear when we are coming. Oh, go do this, go do nothing, go do that. You know, people do not sorry guys. Hi Fatima. Hello, Fatima. We have Fatima here. You're welcome, darling. Thanks for joining us. We can't wait. I've been hyping your story already. I've been hyping your story already.
Hi,
Yeah. Can you hear
just
us?
1 second. I'm trying to figure.
Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Guys, can you hear Fatima? Fatima is here for us. All right. When you're ready, let's know.
I don't know what's up. Yeah, I can hear you, but I don't know because I'm actually listening to Nancy, but now I can hear from both ends, and I don't know which one to stop. Okay, I can
Oh,
hear.
really? Okay, so sometimes it does that. You guys watching, it doesn't give you live updates. So I think I've experienced such too. So you might be hearing some replay, but I'm sure you should be fine. I just typed that we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Exactly, I can hear replay.
You can hear the replay, right? All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna be fine. Let me see. Let
Okay,
me
I'll
see.
just start anyway.
Yeah, so please
I'll start anyways.
introduce
My
yourself and just dive into the story because I know we've taken too much time. It's supposed to be 1 hour program, and this is almost 1 hour. So just dive in, explain. I mean, introduce yourself, and just give us what you want to tell us. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Okay, Fatima just disconnected. I hope she's able to connect back with us. You guys understand it's technology. When you're using something you're not used to, all the others that we can face with that. So I hope you guys wouldn't mind. But I'm just gonna start a little bit so that we don't waste too much of our time. So I actually brought Fatima is my very close friend and she's in Saskatchewan. Who wants to go to Saskatchewan? Please let me know what you know about Saskatchewan in the comment section. That thing that comes to your head whenever you hear Saskatchewan. Okay, she's joining back. I'm going to add that. Hi Fatima, we lost you there. Thank God you're back.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. So what I did was I just ended the first one, then I entered
Okay,
into the studio now. So,
That's
hi everyone. My name is Fatima Oloko. I am a mother of three beautiful children. You need to see my
yes. She
children
doesn't look
actually.
it.
um, what else? What else do you want me to tell them?
Yeah, I was just talking about you being in Saskatchewan. So just let us know.
Okay, and then again, one thing I just graduated after 5.5 years of school. So this is like a big deal to me. Like it's so I'm
Congratulations.
just gonna give you guys a snapshot of my life in Canada. And before coming to Canada, I know a lot of people. I know we all have our visions, we all have these dreams, or American dreams. I want to do this, I want to do that. For me, when I was coming, I wanted to be a fashion designer. I wanted to go into fashion because I love it. I grew up into fashion. My grandma sells clothes. Diane knows. My mom is a fashion designer. So I am like, oh, I need to take this. So I kind of like love that. But at the same time, in Nigeria, they do not give us the opportunity to like try something like maybe go for all these jobs. In Nigeria, I know that we don't have dignity for labor. If you're a tailor, they tell you that tailor, they won't give them good money. I think now the fashion designer right now, I actually love what they're doing. So when a fashion designer tells me that, oh, this is the amount of the clothes, I just be like, well, it's okay. Like I do not want to downgrade them because I want to like encourage them kind of. So when I got into Canada, the first thing there was people started telling me, oh, you have to be a nurse. I was like, okay. Yeah, being a science student right from Nigeria, it wasn't a big deal. I won't say I'm not an average student. I know myself very well. God has blessed me. So I'm not an average student. So I one thing I'm like, oh yes, I think I can do this thing. But my sisters, my brother, I messed up bigly in nursing. My first semester in nursing, I out of 5 courses, I failed 3 courses. So I was so devastated. I was like, sincerely, if it was possible for somebody to die, and come back, and I don't have the understanding of God that if you kill yourself, you see a fire. So just like suck it up. But if it was possible that somebody can die and you resurrect back yourself without God punishing you for that, I would do that at that time. I was really, really down because I was like, come on, I am good. I know that I am good. But one thing most of us kind of have when we are coming to maybe Canada, or where we are going, or America or whatever, like to the Western world, we kind of like, oh, we are smart, we are this, we are that, forgetting God, forgetting that you cannot do anything without God. People say, some logical people say, remove God out of the equation, but I'm sorry, I ain't removing God out of the equation, because God is actually the equation. God is a person, well, I don't know, maybe to use person, but God is like Almighty that you have to consult. When I failed these 3 classes, I was like, God. And for nursing in University of Regina, then I don't know, maybe as I know, I don't know, but then your mark has to be 60, and I had 59. So imagine having 59 like 3 classes. You'd be like, permit me to speak my language. You'd be like, Shayen Shemini. That was the first thing I said, because I was like, hey God. Then I'm sure most people did not even know that I'm in Canada. So there's nothing anybody will come and say. Like, you understand? Like, I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's any spiritual problem. I think it's me not consulting God. So when I failed that class, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and I'm going to ace it. And to the glory of God, I did well. Like I had A. So I'm not even 80. So you know what I'm saying? Like I aced the class. But I wasn't feeling nursing anymore. Something wasn't just sitting right with me with nursing. Then I started praying to God for career paths. And that's one thing I would like to encourage people, that before you venture into anything, please and please seek God in everything. I might be jumping some stories. My life was kind of in, like, it was in a circle. I thought I was moving, but I wasn't moving. I was moving from one job to another job, from superstore to maybe care aid. You think you're moving, but you're not, because you're not fulfilled. You're not in that place God wants you. But one thing I know is, even while I was in those jobs, I was happy doing it. But at the same time, I know that I'm not fulfilled. I know that there's still, like, there's more to me than this. There's more. So I called on God, and when I was about to change, it was January 8th, 2018, that I made that decision that I was going to stop nursing. I wasn't going back. But after nursing, what do I want to do? Then I went to the States. I saw my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law told me about health information technology. I was like, oh, that's not good. She told me the money and blah blah blah. I was kind of like, okay, I'll go for that. Then I went for the class. Or before then, you have to, like, write, you have to do a typing test, and you have to have what's this thing, 30 word per minute. Trust me, my sister and my brother, I had 29 word per minute every time. 29 word per minute. So then I was like, maybe God is telling me something, because why is it not working in nursing? Why is it not working in health information management again? Then I sat down. Sincerely, God knows, I was really, really praying. I was really, really praying. I might not be spiritual. I'm not that spiritual to the level that I think I should be. But I knew that they said God is this, God is that. Okay, let me go back to this God that created me. That, okay, God, this is what I want. Me, the way I pray is communication. I communicate with God. And like, God, you know what? You see that they said that. Okay, I went to one Bible study and they told me that God is this, God is that. And I'll start telling God everything, that God, oh, okay, I've done this. Okay, what should I do again? Then I got this conviction. Not even before then, I was going for career, whatever, like, maybe go for classes, just for me to, like, maybe know my career path. Then somebody asked me one question. The person said, what do you want to be? I said, a nurse. And she said, do you like the quality of life of a nurse? That was the question she asked me. Then I sat down. I was like, do I like it? No, I don't. The money, yes, people say money, 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 but is it about money or about passion? You have to have passion for what you love, as in what you love. You have to have for your career, because when the struggles of life comes, you'll be able to stand. I could remember that during my classes, there will be time I cry. Dayo can testify. I will call her and I will start wailing. There's a difference between crying and wailing. I will start screaming in my car, because I don't want someone, like, I don't want anybody to hear me. But then I needed somebody to talk to. I felt like God was not answering me, but I think God was doing something underneath, because He knows what He has in stock for me. Most of us venture into nursing. I have a lot of nurses as friend, and they are doing very well. They are doing great. But one thing that is different from they and me is that they have passion for what they are doing. I have passion for health promotion. I only know how to promote health. I only know how to tell people, don't do this. When you do this, you get sick. When you do this, you do this. I'm trying to remove the weight from the clinical settings. But they, nurses, they are the one dealing in the clinical setting. But me, I'm trying to prevent it. That is what I'm good at. Anyone that knows me very well knows that even where, as in, I talk about it a lot. I wasn't even talking about this one. I was just gisting somebody, and this is actually a white person that actually gave me understanding of what God wants me to do. I was talking to the guy that day, and the guy said, I think you're more of a health promotional person than a nurse. Then I got home. I went back to whatever I was doing to like, okay, what do I need to do? Then immediately I started searching for public health. Okay, this actually aligns with health promotion. Lo and behold, I went to the department. So here in Saskatchewan, we only have 6 schools all over Canada that takes public health. That is being all over, that is accredited. Just 6 schools all over Canada. So Saskatchewan is one of the province. So I went there, and unfortunately, I was told that they've closed the course because they are going to end public health, environmental health science. I was like, God, when it's not that, something is wrong with me. Now, the course that I love now, they've already closed it. But I went back to God because I knew that it was a conviction, because I wasn't the one that I prayed, yes, but someone told me that this is who I am. And I went back to God, and all of a sudden, there will be a time you pray to God and you'll be fixing things in your spirit. I don't know, maybe anybody has ever experienced that. You'll be seeing yourself fixing things, like, okay, while you're praying, you're like, you are remembering something. Okay, I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. And someone called me and said, Fatima, there's this course. So that, okay, the person actually went for nursing, but instead of nursing, they gave her the environmental science. That's the public health science. They gave her that. So she was not telling me that, I don't like this course. I was like, what course is that? She now told me. Then that's the course I've been looking for. I told her that's the course I've been looking for. So that was when I went to the department. I said, unfortunately, they've closed the course. But I went back to God and I told God that, God, if truly, truly you want me to do this, please do something. Sincerely, August 15, they called me and they opened that course just because of me. I don't know how God did it though. It's none of my business. My own is I've prayed to God and I've told God that, God, this is what I want. And they gave me time to register for the courses, and I did. And after that time, till now, my sister, my brothers, they never open them. And it's not even looking like they will open it.
Wow.
So now we have just 5 schools left accredited for public health science or / environmental health science. And after that, I started the course. Sincerely, there's no course in Canada that is simple. Like Nigeria, I'm not trying to belittle anything here, but anyone that has gone to school here in Canada will know what I'm saying. It is not more. It is not like it is. You have to put everything, your strength, coupled with the fact that most of us, we have children. You have to take care of your own front. You have to work, because I was working, I was schooling, I was a mother, wife. You still have to do all the necessary things you have to do. So it wasn't kind of easy. I know a particular course that I did, chemistry. That chemistry almost took my life, because I had this I don't know. Because I did not go to the hospital, but I knew that I had hypertension, not hypertension, but my blood pressure was always high. So I one thing I know, that it was only God that actually scaled me through. So one thing I'm trying to say, and I'm trying to encourage people, is when you put God first in anything you do, it will surely come out good. Not that I didn't have my struggles in public health science. I have a lot of struggles There are times I will cry and cry and cry non-stop. There are times I'm just walking without even, like, I don't even know where I'm going to. Sometimes I've driven from, maybe I don't even know where I was, but I knew that I just find myself at home. My still like, wait, how did I get here? So I was actually thinking, so there are times like that in my life that I know that a lot of things has happened, but I still have to, like, pull through. But always what I do is I go back to God and, like, God, you said that I can do this thing. You said I should go do this thing. So each time I don't even know I don't even know how I passed. Like, sincerely, I don't know how I graduated. But everything is just still like a dream to me. Like, I don't even know what to say right now. But one thing I want to encourage everyone is, before you venture into anything, please ask God.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of careers that you can venture into that most people do not even look into. If you don't have passion for, I know
Nothing.
most people are crazy about nursing. I'm telling you, most people are so crazy about it. I'm not saying it's not a good career. It's a lovely career because you're taking care of people. As in, you want people to feel the compassion. You must have compassion. You must as it put people in your shoes. So it's a lot. But if you don't have passion for it, why do you have to go? If that is not your strength, why do you have to go? My advice is, go for something you love. So when life struggles comes, you'll be able to stand it.
Yeah, true.
Most people are in nursing school now and they are frustrated. God, they are frustrated. Not that you will not find frustration in another courses.
Yes.
You will. But if that thing is your way, forget it. Forget it. You would scale through.
Yeah, true.
You will scale through.
True.
So that's what I want to encourage everyone. Let us just go for what we have passion for, what we love doing. See, I'm now, to the glory of God, I'm a public health inspector. I got I maybe 1 month after school or even a few weeks after school, I got a job. So it's not
Yeah.
like
It
you
wasn't
would
even up to
not
a
get
month.
a job. Exactly. It's not like you will not get a job. You will get it as long as it's God that directed you and it is what you love. Quote me. Go and tell God. I listened to somebody and the person said that this is this. Quote me, please. Mention my name to God. No, because sincerely, because when you know the God you serve, you would, like, I don't know, you'll be so bold to say it. Sometimes we all feel disconnected. We feel that God is not listening to us, but God is listening to us.
True. True.
So that's just the snapshot. Except if you have any question, Dario, I would answer it.
No, no question. I'm just glad you are able to share the stories because of course, I've been saying, Fatima, I would like you to share this story. I would like you to share this testimony because to me it's a testimony. And why I
Yeah.
said so is because I have been in that kind of issue before, like in that kind of shoe before. And I'm not the only one. It's something we all discuss. It's very common among Africans. I can't say, okay, among Nigerians, I won't say other African country because I'm not and I've not been there. But among Nigerians, that when people are traveling abroad, everything that comes up first, advice from people is nothing, 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 nothing. And one thing I know is that, see, these people, they are just saying that to the best of their knowledge as well. It's not as if they mean it. Sometimes some people might mean it for bad. Maybe they've entered into it, they are looking for partners, they're looking for partners to that they will drag into their mess already. But I can say that 99% or 98% of people are just ignorant about it too. I just feel, you can imagine if everybody is a nurse, who is going to be a teacher? Who is going to be a lecturer? Who is going to be the doctor? Who is going to be selling things to us in the grocery stores, in the convenience stores, and all other stuff? You get? So that's the problem about Africans. I'm bringing this thing up, and I'm still going to come up with another personal experience from my side regarding this issue of, please, can we stop advising everybody to go do nursing? Can you even stop advising people, except you know that this is God speaking to you through this person, or you've seen this thing, the attributes, something. Of course, I was listening to Apostle Sermon 3 days ago, and he was talking about purpose in life. And he said most of us sometimes it's just that we're lazy, or because we just decide to turn blind eyes. Some of us from childhood, you know what you want to be. Even your parents can see that, oh, like a child that just like to listen to music. Every time they're playing music, the child is there dancing. If you off the speaker, the child will start crying. That one, you either know that this one will be a dancer or likes to listen to music, or someone that's anywhere you go, you're just being placed in what's it called, in big positions, like, okay, like maybe in school you're either the class captain or kinecom prefect. You already know that, oh, this one will be in that line. And there are so many other examples I can give as well. A child that just like to cook, just every time you just want to cook and everything, you know that, oh, this person has some things hidden in them that has to do with cooking or fashion or artists. I even see that a lot with young kids, and I get wild. Like, even me, I can't draw this thing. You see them, the way they handle pencils, they're good at drawing. Why can't we just, as a parent or as a guardian or somebody, groom the person, help that child grow in that way, and realize some other hidden talents? But no, you would see, and it sometimes it's mentality and our African belief as well. Everybody wants their child to be doctor. Everyone wants their child to have that white collar job. No, not everybody can be in that sector. Let us watch what, of course, God has, like what as Pastor said, God did not create Dio, and when I get to the word, God has say, Dio, what should we do with Dio? Where should she go?
Mhm.
And she should go and sell food today. No, tomorrow, let her do hairdresser. Tomorrow, let her go to accounting. God did not create us and start thinking. He said in the Bible that before you were born, when you were conceived, he knows you. He knows where he already knows you. He surnamed you. He has printed your names, everything in his palm. He knows everything about you. So the thing you have to do as a parent or as a guardian or as a mentor, as a coach, is to help that person actualize what God has actually called them for. But nowadays, people don't try to listen to God. They don't want to pray to know, to get directions. I fall into that category to, like, I can be so emphasized with something, and, oh, this is what I want to me. I'm even
Sorry,
maybe
Daya, sorry for interrupting you. And one thing is, when you're planning to travel or when you get to Canada, please, can you just calm down? Like, calm down, seriously. You don't jump you don't jump the gun. You don't. You have to calm down. Like, see, I know most people, Nigerians, we are, what's this thing? I don't know how to call it. Oh my God, please, can somebody help me? We have this zeal to grow. Yes, it is very, very good. That is the way we are wired. But sometimes, because we don't want to miss it, so we need to calm down. We need to
yes.
ask God. We need to consult God. God, see, please, me, I'm not going to remove God out of the equation. No, if he's not going to me, because
I've said that
that's
here too sometimes ago.
that's the equation. Because I know that somebody there, please be logical. There's nothing logical about it, because the things of the spirit does not even make sense.
Yes.
It doesn't make sense at all. And number one, this life is not just physical, it is spiritual. Everybody, let us get it. So if you want to settle something, you want to know your career path, please go back to God and go and ask God that, okay, God, this is that, and you will do very well.
Mm-hmm.
You will do very well, because I don't know the problem. If it's nursing you love, why not go and do it?
Yes,
No
of
problem.
course. So many
Then
people
if you
go
have passion for
differently.
it, please and please, I beg you, don't, because of what I said now, say that you're not going. No, please
Oh
go,
no.
because that is your passion. That is what God has told you to do. That is your own line. But if you don't have passion for it and you go and the struggle comes, forget it. You will be frustrated.
Yeah.
I know someone, or I've heard about someone that they said that maybe during the exam, she collapsed. So they have to take, and this was just maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm like, hey, no, see, she don't know one.
Oh my
You
God.
understand? Because because my own is, there's no cause that's not, that was fairness, that does not even have his own struggles.
Yeah,
Every
of
courses
course.
have their own
Yes.
struggles. But the reason we can actually sustain it and we can take it is because we love what we are doing. I
Doing
love doing a
just like
hospital
life
sector.
generally too.
Exactly. And
Marriage,
one thing
having
I read,
children, and all
mhm,
of that. Struggles, pains
exactly.
comes with everything.
Like it's just okay, just like you said marriage. Who said that there's no struggles in marriage? There is now. There is lot of struggles, but one thing is because you love that person, you're like, oh, I'm not me. I've carried Akagon. What they used to carry that thing that used to Aradite or whatever. Now you I bring come marry what
Married
do you
that
call
this one, now yeah, go die.
exactly. So exactly. So they've already gone my nyash into that one. So that one is there
Yes.
already. So it's
Even,
just like
even
that.
even as a believer, you because persecuted as a Christian, challenges being holding on. But the thing is, the heavenly glory where we are going is where we're looking at, because there are so many things attached to serving God. So many things you need to live. You need to just focus. Is it fasting? Is it praying? Standing up, the spiritual warfare and everything. But we are sticking on to Him. We are still following Him because we know where we are going. It's true. There's no challenge. There's
Exactly.
nowhere that you won't find challenges in this world. There's nowhere. Thanks so
I
much,
like
Fatima. This is
those
very
ones.
interesting. Very, very interesting to
Yeah,
me.
it's
And
just a snapshot. It's not a, because I don't even know. Like if I begin from the beginning, we might not even leave here. So that's just a snapshot of my
of
of my
course, of course, we
career.
can't
Like,
we can't go into everything today. It's definitely going to be like a
and
series
yeah,
thing
we need
will
more
come up some
public
other
health
time.
people. We want people, like there are a lot of careers in
Yes,
healthcare.
and
Like there's
congratulations on
mental health.
your congratulations. Oh, at least I'm happy now. Gone are those days
you
of
know,
issues with nursing and all everything. That's life. That's how life is. And thank God that you're able to even identify. Some people could have just drop out and never go back to school, just get frustrated after wasting like 2 years, and you're still gonna pay school fees again. That was not
I
the end of
jumped
the
that
day.
side of my life. That I left nursing after 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
Yes,
You
so I
can
left
imagine.
nursing after 3 years. So I
You-
had to
I
start
even
all
give
over
you
again.
I even give you a plus for that because it's not easy. It's like 3 years, but it's not
Exactly.
wasted
Some people
three
will not
years.
go back to school
Someone
again.
will
Some people will
never.
not go back to
It's
school.
not 3 years.
But I
It's
saw
not
that. I
wasted.
saw
To you, you feel it's
exactly.
wasted, but
It's
you
not
actually
wasted.
learned
It's a
a lot.
learning process.
Yes, it actually made you to get to where you are. Failure, disappointment is part of the journey. That is part of the journey.
Mhm.
That's what people don't know. If you didn't go through that, you might never even have realized who God say you are. You
I
might
would
never
not
even have
even
realized.
appreciate my
So it's
career
part of
right
it.
now.
And again, what's the fun in life if everything is just going smoothly for us? It's not going to be fun. So we need stories like this. We need to encourage people come in so that they don't make such mistakes, so that they can have it better. But that doesn't mean they are still going to have issues. But Tokumba says, I hope street also there Canada, because some of us, if we land Canada today, now also there's also, but not
Oh,
street also.
oh, well, what does she mean by street hustle? Because there's actually hustling. We hustle too now, Dayo. We they
Yeah, of
hustle,
course, we
you know.
also. She
We
knows
they
that.
hustle. You go because I know that okay. There was a particular time I had like 4 jobs in my hand. Like I'll go from this one,
Wow.
go from this one, go from this one,
Wow.
and I was still in school. But
Yeah.
you just want to like, well, I did not come account snow in Canada, but I came to aside, yeah, money is there. Yeah, aside making money, I came to make life better for myself because it is not necessarily money all the time. It is peace of mind. You having that peace that okay, God. And again, for the children, again, they will not go through what me have gone through.
Amen. Sure.
And that's another part again that we should always look into. Because
Mm,
sometimes when we make mistake, it's okay to make mistake. It is
yeah.
okay. It is okay. But because we do not want people to come into Canada and make the mistakes we have
Same
made,
mistake.
so that's the reason we are
Yeah,
here
that's the
telling
reason
you
we are
that
sharing
okay.
this actually. And like I said, this month is going to be full of life experience. I share my experience from Canada and all of that because I feel people, what's the essence? God has given me this platform, and I hear people get encouraged with what I do and all of that. So I feel okay. It's part of it. Let's learn from each other. Like me, I'm not always shy to tell you where I am and places where I fall short as well. But the good thing is we're able to realize and we're working towards getting better and being a better person. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot of life story soon. Thank you so much, Fatima. I do really appreciate you coming. Thanks for
Thank you.
sharing,
Thank you
for sharing
for giving me
your
your
life experience
platform. I
with
really
us.
appreciate it.
Thank you. And I'm sure people have learned one thing or the other, or people that will watch the replay and all of that. Thank you all. Thank you, Ayabala. Thanks for joining us. Thank you, Abiodun Beyoku. That's my mom. Thank you. Let me just quickly
Let me
appreciate
say hello to
everyone.
Sisimi.
Yeah, she's there. I'm sure she will see. She's been commenting. I saw where she mentioned, good to see your face. Happy New Month. Thank you. I am Bala. Okay. Thank you, Amara. Thanks for joining. God bless you. Thanks for your support. I can hear you. Right. Okay, that's me. Sophia says, I can hear you. Sis, just go on. You can't hear us. We can call in. All right. Kindly send link of your master class. All right, so I'm just going to quickly share the email Nancy shared with me so that you guys can mail her. Just give me a moment, please, guys. I hope I'm still on. Sorry for that, guys. I have to quickly go copy that. All right,
I
so I
can
just
leave
sent
it.
the email for those of you that want to contact Nancy. That's our email. You guys can contact her. Thank you, Toby. Adewusi. I'm enjoying the conversation. Seek God first for guidance. Don't follow crowd. And you are unique in your way. Yes, I think that was when Fatima was talking about she not consulting God before going to nursing. Saida says nice discussion. Tokumbo, thank you, Tokumbo. I can't do that, no, Sha. God bless you for saying this. Thank you, everyone. I hope I'm not missing anyone today because my people have always been complaining that you missed my name. I think I mentioned everybody's name. Thank you. I don't want to waste too much time reading everything. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Nancy, for coming. Thank you, Fatima, for coming. And thank you to everyone that came to join us live. And to every one of you that will be watching the replay, thank you so much. I love you all. Thanks for always supporting us. Oh, Fatima has gone. Fatima, Fatima, okay, thanks for coming. I didn't know you're leaving already. Thank you so much. I do really appreciate you guys. I don't know what to say. Thank you all. Guys, watch out for my weekly vlog will be coming out tomorrow. So watch out for my vlog. And we are more structured now. Thank you all for your support. So you guys will be getting vlogs, videos every week. I mean, three times a week. Thank you all. I don't know what I'm saying. Let me just end this video. Let me just end this live show. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. God bless you. Thank you for your love and support. And guys, please come and support me. I'll be going live right away to do the the silence streaming. And I know a lot of people have been asking me what's that. So the silent streaming is just when you go live and you're not there to say anything or do anything, but people come and put it on just support you to get your 4,000 K watch hours. So if you have a spare what's it called, gadgets in your house, probably a laptop, a tab, or your TV, when you're going to sleep, I think that's always the best time because during the day you might be needing your gadget. So please just play and run my live streaming so that we can. Okay, I'm having a call now, so I'm going to call the person back. So just join me so that we can eat the 4,000K watch hour. Thank you all. I love you all. And stay blessed. Bye.